Today consisted a lot of just really simplistic meals. I actually only ate like 3 meals. 2 of them were more like breakfasty types, and then I technically skipped lunch and then just had dinner, which was a really light dinner. But I think I just haven't been eating as much because I'm not really, not going to the gym at all because they're closed. And so I'm working out at home, and I've been fairly busy, and so just my workouts have been sort of subpar recently. So I think my appetite has just diminished a lot because I'm not burning as many calories. But that's all fine and dandy. So anyway, this is just a realistic day of eating for me. However, I still ate like in every plant food category and still ate a variety of different colors. So I got, I probably got a perfect amount of nutrition, just not as heavy of meals as I normally eat. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and let's jump into all the food. I'm having a small breakfast before I take my dogs out. So I'm eating this grain-free granola by Nature's Path. It is so delicious. It tastes really sweet, but it actually doesn't have a lot of sugar in it. And then I'm topping it off with some oat milk. After I took my dogs out, I had some watermelon that I had already pre-chopped up. Watermelon is delicious and hydrating. Yum. And then for like my real breakfast, I'm making a big bowl of oats. So I'm just adding some coconut oil with a chopped apple, tossing in some cinnamon, and just toasting this up before adding rolled oats and some water. Now, I don't have like a specific amount I'm making. I just eyeball it and just make as much as I think I have an appetite for. And then I'm adding a banana in. So these are, the apple and the banana are just like a natural sweetener. So that way I don't have to add any, processed sugar, refined sugar, whatever. And then I'm going to serve it up and top it off with those hemp seeds and that nut mix that I have sitting right there. So it's just a combination of pumpkin seeds, almonds, cashews, pecans, goji berries. I think that's it. And there it is. This was really, really good. So that's the list of ingredients that I used for this delicious oatmeal bowl. Yum. And honestly, this filled me up so much that I decided to have a light dinner. So I'm just making a pho flavored soup. So this is not gonna be traditional pho. I'm just gonna be using some of the toppings, the sauces that is traditionally used in pho, but I'm just making a very light base soup. I am slicing this big red cabbage in really thin slices. So I'm gonna really cook it down so it's nice and soft. I know not everyone can have cabbage, but you can use rice noodles. There's other alternatives to noodles, so you can use whatever you want. I know cabbage upsets some people's stomach, but my stomach is okay with it. And then I'm also going to be using some bok choy. I also really love carrots, and that would make this a really colorful soup. However, I just don't have any carrots. But actually, first I'm gonna put this in a pot. So I have a large pot going with a bunch of water. I don't have a specific recipe for this. I just eyeball it and make a big batch. So I'm gonna just drop in my cut cabbage in here. Yeah, so I just do this all to taste. I really don't have a recipe. I'm gonna be using this Better Than Bouillon vegetable base. I'm just taking a big heaping spoon of this, and I can always add more in later. And then this is gonna take a minute. So it's gonna be cooking for a while. So now we've got some super soft cabbage. You wanna make sure that there's just no crunch at all. Like, it's not gonna like look obviously like noodles and stuff, but it's really floppy. So I cooked it for about 40 minutes on high heat, but you really don't have to do anything. You can just let it cook and you can go do something else. And now I'm just going to add in my bok choy. I don't want this to cook a lot. I just want it to be mildly cooked. And I've turned off the heat completely. I'm using this super firm high protein tofu. So this has 14 grams. Just kidding. I think the Wildwood brand has 15 grams of protein, but I love the texture of super firm high protein tofu. It's my favorite. So it doesn't have a lot of water content. You don't need to press any water out unless you really feel like it, but it's also going in water, so it doesn't really matter. So again, I just want this to warm up. I'm not really cooking it. It's already cooked, ready to eat. And then same thing, if I were to use carrots, I would do the same thing. I would chop them in like thin, long slices and then pop them in when the heat is turned off. I just want them barely cooked. So I'm gonna add some sriracha, some hoisin sauce, and then a squeeze of lime. Oh, I wish you could watch that color change. It went from like a poopy brown to this like really pretty purple. The lime just brings out a different color. It's crazy. So you can add different vegetables in here. I really like crunchy vegetables personally. Again, this is not traditional pho. I'm not claiming it to be pho, but the flavors that I'm using, like the lime, the hoisin sauce, sriracha, that's used for pho. And it's a high protein, low calorie dinner. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.